The next step is to register and enqueue the assets. This will most likely be the last time we write PHP code for a while. Unlike the other WordPress APIs, Gutenberg is mostly written in JavaScript. Custom blocks are also written in JavaScript. There are some exceptions, but we'll get to those later. Registering and enqueuing the files are still a PHP process. Just like anything else, we'll be using hooks. Inside the main plugin file, create an action hook called Enqueue Block Editor Assets. The name of the function will be r_enqueue_block_editor_assets. This function doesn't exist, so we'll need to create that next. Create a file inside the blocks directory called enqueue.php. Once again, any files related to the Gutenberg editor will be placed here. After creating the file, define the function and include it from the main plugin file. The hook that we're using is specifically for the Gutenberg editor. The Enqueue Block Editor Assets hook is triggered when the Gutenberg is initialized for any post type on the admin end. This is perfect, as this will make sure only files meant for the editor will be loaded. Inside the function, call the WP Register Script function and set the name to rBlocksBundle. The second parameter will be the URL. We'll use the plugin's URL function for this. The path should be /blocks/dist/bundle.js. Keep in mind that we're loading the bundle file and not the files inside the app directory. The bundle file will contain the finished result of everything. Next up is an array of dependencies. Before we load this script, we're going to need a few things. The special thing about the Gutenberg editor is that it's modular. The Gutenberg editor is split up into various modules that are bundled together to make it function correctly. We need to make sure that certain modules are loaded first before our script so that it can function correctly. The scripts we're about to require are all registered by WordPress. The first one is WP-I18N. This script will provide us functions that we can use to translate our script. Next is the WP-element script. This will provide us with the function for converting our JSX code into JavaScript functions. In the previous section, we would use React, but WordPress takes the time to wrap some of React's functions. I'll discuss this more in depth later. For now, just include it. Afterwards, we'll need the WP-blocks script. This script will allow us to register our block and interact with Gutenberg. Then, we'll need the WP-components script. Gutenberg comes with some components that we can reuse in our own script. This script will allow us to access these features. It's great because then we won't have to reinvent the wheel. Up next is the WP-editor script. This script comes with tools and functions related specifically for the editor. These will help us create a more consistent user experience when building our blocks. Lastly, we'll need the WP-API script. This will allow us to interact with the WordPress REST API. We haven't discussed the REST API in depth, but we will soon. Something I want to note is that you won't be using all of these scripts right from the start. We'll gradually introduce each one as the course progresses. I'm just including them now so that we can focus more on the JavaScript code and not have to switch back and forth between files. The last parameter I want to set is the version. As you may know, some browsers will cache our files. We don't want this. We always want the latest version. I've already shown you how to do this in a previous lecture, but I want to show an alternative solution. I'm going to call the filemtime function. This function requires the path to the file. I'll pass that in as well. The function I'm introducing here will get a file's last modification time. This function requires the full system path. I'm using the plugin dir path function, which will return the full system path to a plugin file. Then I'm appending the rest of the path to the file. This is a really quick and easy way to get the latest version of a file. Alright, let's enqueue the file now. Right below this, call the wp-enqueue script function and pass in the name. That should do it. Before we confirm everything works, open the index.js file inside the app directory. It should be empty. I'm going to console.log a simple message. Then we'll need to compile this file. Inside the command line, you may have to cd into the blocks directory. Once you're there, run the commands npm run dev. You should receive a success message, and Webpack should now be watching the files for any changes. Then go to the admin dashboard and try viewing the Gutenberg editor. This can be for any post type. For the rest of this section, I'll be focusing on the recipe post type. The code should work for any post type though. Open the developer tools and view the console. You should see the message appearing in the log. That should confirm everything works. We've taken care of the first two steps, which was prepare the environment and enqueue the files. The next step is to register our block. We'll take a look at how to do that in the next lecture. I'll see you there.